Back with loads of games. Loads of faces. Loads of fun. And the quivering bloke, Jim Davidson's Generation Game. New for Saturday at 6 on BBC One.
From conception to birth, new discoveries are helping our babies.
Madam, congratulations, you gave birth yesterday.
I'm 4.5 months pregnant and very happy.
Preventing premature birth.
We all want perfect children, I know, but it just becomes secondary. I desperately wanted her to live.
And encouraging natural birth.
We'll be able to prevent many unnecessary caesarean sections.
For all our children, tomorrow's World Childbirth Special, tomorrow 7:30, BBC One.
BBC Two's looking good for the next half hour as Lowry Turner assesses the pros and cons of catalogue shopping. Sue Barker's in the chair now on BBC One with a question of sport.
Hello and welcome to A Question of Sport, in which John Parrott leads 1-0, the first time he's ever led Ally McCoist in a series. And joining Ally tonight...
Welcome to Strasbourg, the city of European unity, where everyone loves each other. The nations, they come together to discuss global concerns. Whereas in Liverpool, all you care about is football. Liverpool meets Strasbourg in the UEFA Cup. Match du jour, live next Tuesday at 8 on BBC One. À bientôt!
Jermaine Greer and Dominic Holland were the guests joining the regulars that week. Have I got old news for you on BBC Two in a moment, followed at 9:30 by drama in Holding On.
I've never been so frightened before. I thought it was the end.
To think that we were so close to death.
They came without warning.
The weathermen got it spectacularly wrong.
Winds that hit 110 miles per hour.
It was a bit like being in a battle zone.
Then went off the gauge.
Stronger than any that have been recorded for 300 years.
The real stories from the night of the great storm.
This one, just stronger than we thought.
A 999 special in half an hour on BBC One.
That's after the main evening news from the BBC with Peter Sissons at 9 o'clock.
A Conservative MP has resigned from the House of Commons, blaming press intrusion for driving him out. Piers Merchant has denied new allegations about his private life and says he wants to protect his family and friends. The former MP, Neil Hamilton, fights on against the old sleaze allegations. He calls Mohammed Al-Fayed a liar. And passengers and all that jazz. How Britain's regional railways are branching out. Good evening. The Conservative MP for Beckenham, Piers Merchant, has resigned from the House of Commons after a Sunday newspaper ran renewed allegations about his relationship with an 18-year-old woman, Anna Cox. It was the second time in 7 months the allegations had surfaced. And despite a denial, again backed up by his wife, he said today he was stepping down because of intensive and continued media intrusion. Our chief political correspondent, John Sargent, reports.
Piers Merchant's house is again in the spotlight. It was here on Sunday that his wife and the woman who's alleged to be his mistress publicly played down the newspaper reports. In a statement today, He said he was resigning to protect my family, especially my 2 sensitive children, and also my friends, including Anna Cox and her family, from the intensive and continued tabloid intrusion into our private lives. This evening, an ambulance collected Miss Cox, the former nightclub hostess, who earlier had protested angrily about media harassment. Local Tories expressed regret at his resignation.
I deeply regret that it has come to this. It's a very distressing day for everybody involved, but I'm afraid that with the reports over the weekend, I think it became inevitable.
Mr. Merchant received the backing of his constituency association during the election campaign when he denied an affair with Miss Cox, and his wife gave him public support. Last weekend, the Sunday Mirror published 5 pages detailing allegations that the affair was continuing. The editor insists it was in the public interest.
He was an MP who 2 years ago told the Tory party that they all had to be whiter than white. And Mr. Merchant seems to have spectacularly forgotten his own advice.
Tory Central Office stressed that Mr. Merchant was not put under pressure by them to resign. It's being seen as a private matter. But some MPs believe it does raise the issue of press intrusion.
I question whether this has anything whatsoever to do with the public interest. Or anything whatsoever to do with the guidelines published by the Press Complaints Commission recently. It seems to me that it has much more to do with what is interesting to the public and what it sells in newspapers. I don't like witch hunts.
Some Tory MPs are privately highly critical of Mr. Merchant, describing